Stop Killing Games has a lot of potential to be really good and disruptive to video game companies that choose to effectively kill games or irreparably damage multiplayer to render games unplayable after players purchase the game. So I did one thing no man has actually done, and I went to their website and read their FAQ. I wanted to highlight a few games as an example to what would happen if the devs suddenly stopped supporting them, and how it's actually kind of really easy to make games playable beyond the devs ending support for them. All they need to do is release the server files and allow server hosters to ban/restrict accounts from joining said server, also known as basic admin tools. One game that really doesn't have this problem is Minecraft. Has both private and public servers run by the community and its player base. This works really well because there's no progress that's saved in the account that needs to be transferred from server to server. You can also self-host a server and play a server without verified account ownership using Microsoft Auth. So even if Microsoft fails, you can still host and run and play a server by yourself or with friends. Another game that doesn't have this problem is Rust. Rust has public servers run by the developers, as well as private and public community servers that are run by the community, as well as the ability to self-host a server. So if the developers' servers went down, people could just switch to community servers. You can also get your account banned for cheating in Rust. This will not let you connect to any community servers or developer servers. As far as I know, you can still join a server with the anti-cheat disabled, or a self-hosted server to play multiplayer with friends. One thing I would like to see changed in Stop Killing Games is making a cheater or banned player not have access to the game revoked in a way where you just can't play the game whatsoever. Where the cheater can still host his own server and play the game by himself or with friends. If you get kicked out of the developer's sandbox for throwing sand at the other kids, you shouldn't get your shovel and pail you bought taken away from you. You should still be allowed to make your own sandbox and play with it alone or with friends. You bought the game just the same as anyone else has. Deep Rock Galactic. It has public servers run by the developer of the game and no way to self-host a server or play on a community server. It has currency and items that are stored in the client, and that server would just have to trust the client with that information. One thing I would like to know about Stop Killing Games is what would be enough. Is it enough that the game can be entirely played in single player? Is it enough that the game can be able to be played through multiplayer, connecting with Steam servers, so friends can just join via connecting to Steam servers? Because if Steam shuts down years after, and devs aren't supporting the game, then multiplayer is dead, and the devs aren't around to fix it, just delaying the death. Or is it required that multiplayer games can be played by running a dedicated server, then connecting to it, and then friends can join via IP? A game that would be really affected by it would be Clash of Clans. It has public servers owned by the developers, and no way to host a public or private server. If the developer-owned server stopped getting support, there would be no way to play the game whatsoever. Not offline, not with friends, not with the community. If the community was given the privilege to host a public community server, that would be allowed for people to play beyond dev support. And after the community server goes down, when there's only one person left to play, he could get his own server and friends to play the game. The Cycle Frontier had private servers run by the developer of the game and no way to self-host a server or play a community server. As a result, the game is completely unplayable and lost to time. When booting up the game, you get met with login failed, error code 5. Firefall. This isn't a game that I played personally, but a friend of mine brought it up as we were talking about Stop Killing Games. As I was looking it up, the most searched term is Firefall Game Private Server. People are looking to play this 13-year-old dead game that died 7 years ago when it was rendered unplayable after the devs stopped hosting the game and left no way for the community to play this game. There are people dedicated enough to reverse engineer the game server to run locally and got basic movement and shooting finished. But that's about it. No mining or enemies. So if people are dedicated enough to try and reverse engineer a server, there's going to be a few people who are dedicated enough to host a server for a dead game. Even if you don't live in the EU, you can still help. There's petitions you can sign in France, Germany, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, United States, and Brazil, as well as sharing the initiative.